Okay, so just a quick video. I'm balancing the front wheel. I've already done the back wheel. For the back wheel, I took it off and I had a rod that went through where the axle was because my axle was didn't work out. But anyway, this one here, I just left the axle in the front wheel and I've got 2 tables set up and just some wood and some rubber on one side to make it level. The key is to get this axle level. Once that's level, I got a little level here, and I just put it on top of the axle and did it that way. And then I just have some motorcycle weights. I went to the shop, the local motorcycle shop, and got some 7-gram weights. They got the 2-sided tape. So when you're ready to stick them on permanently, you just put them on the inside of the rim, and those ones fit really nicely. And you can see I just finished. So what I do is I spin it a few times and try to get it so that you see it's slowly coming to rest again. So I try to get it so that it ends up pretty well in the same spot after a few spins. I mean, this is a bit of a long process, but if you don't need to have a very expensive balancing machine to balance the bike tire. The other thing I do is I've got my square here, and the square has a level bubble in it. So I take my square and I just sit it on top of the axle, and I line it up so the bubble's in the middle, and then I go up and I mark my tape where the bubble is, or where the ruler is, and that gives me my center mark so that I know I'm perfectly centered over the axle, and that's my light point right now. That's the lightest point of the rim. The heaviest part is down at the bottom. So then what I do is I just take some masking tape and I take those weights and I'll start with just like 7 grams and I'll spin it. And if that doesn't work out, I'll put another 7 grams, and you'll try to finesse it until you get it right. And eventually what you should have is, once you get the balance right, is they should end up pretty well horizontal from each other. So you should end up with the front wheel like this, balanced with the other heavier side. This one kind of makes sense. You can see it's almost directly across from the valve stem. And on this one, I've got my little Hall effect magnet on the spoke. That's what I use for my speedometer on this bike, because the speedometer came with the bike is useless, never did work. So I have a bicycle speedometer installed and worked great. Gives me an exact reading of the speed. But yeah, so it's just a bit of a slow process. You just kind of get out in the garage, you do this a few times, and just let it come to rest and get her done. And hopefully that'll take away. I had a little bit of a shimmy, actually more of a shake, not a shimmy. I had a little bit of a shake at higher speeds. So last year when I did the tires, I messed up and I forgot to balance the tires. So here I am this year balancing the tires, and should be good.